And yet, we decide to cut it short in 4 months to do the political vendetta, to do the Beye, Abro and Beye. I've referred to the revocation of the Unibank license as a textbook example of Beye ne Abro. Beye as witchcraft in tree. Abro, all right? Just pull it down.
Wickedness.
Sorry?
Yes, Council, you make your point. So
Beye and Abro, because look, Ofori Atta was jealous. He was basically jealous of the Dufours. So he wanted that by the time they leave office, the Ofori Attas would be the biggest business. Yes, in Ghana. That was very pure. Not guarantee a conviction. The best thing is to recover, because half a loaf is better than none. That's a key thing. Half a loaf is better than none. Now, when he says he's not sure he can secure a conviction, let's not forget. So, I believe you have the Attorney General's opinion at the time. Godfrey Dami signed it 25th January 2019, where Godfrey Dami himself said the revocation of the license is illegal. I hope you have that. Let me read instructive portions of it.
Oh, yes, I saw a biome. So, Sisi an operation recover all loot. Any EOCO for Omuguso Muye Jumapana. Latest one, Ababe Boom, Martin Pebu, our legal practitioner. And the update Ababetuja concerning a year Ken Ofori Atta and a former president, Akuffo. Ye name him say, Ken Ofori Atta, he got to a time I declare no fugitive. And your muchra baby on by Hunibiano, I was someone finding Bragana. Menemo Eka say, former Attorney General, I friend Godfrey Dami, Eddie Abdi Java Betuja, and your Wakako expose Akuffo. Any Ken Ofori Atta, Musen Semboni, any Sika, a year former president, any a year former president, any former finance minister, Eddie Nayefediagro. Now, according to this report, Martin Pebu, Edibabetu Honest or Chra, expose we ekoso ewo EOCO office. Out of without majili, Bepe say, Yebeko update, Muina Yenti and Semwa, Martin Pebu, Edibabetu Ja, now Mammy who's wandering chair,
or agrees or files a null prosequas. Is it doing him any good? Or, as was the case previously, the attorney generals that came before him will sign and also agree to or file null prosequas and not explain to us the reasons why they took that decision?
Hello?
I can hear you clearly.
Okay. Yes. So this decision to come out with information is doing Ayini extreme good, if we can use the word extreme. Because, you see, he's laid bare the facts. And the facts are in his favor. What are these facts that are in his favor? He says he's not sure. There are a number of them we cannot exhaust all, but let's see what we can do in the limited time. He says he is not sure that he can secure a conviction. Please, and that is the technical point we cannot just brush aside. He is in the saddle, and he says that he cannot guarantee this is what you call a conviction. So when the man in the saddle cannot guarantee a conviction, the best thing is to recover, because half a loaf is better than none. That's a key thing. Half a loaf is better than none. Now, when he says he's not sure he can secure a conviction, let's not forget. So, I believe you have the Attorney General's opinion at the time. Godfrey Dami signed it 25th January 2019, where Godfrey Dami himself said the revocation of the license is illegal. I hope you have that. Let me read instructive portions of it. And these things were going to be used against us in court, against the Republic, because the person the government asked to write an opinion on the revocation of the Unibank license has publicly, advised the finance minister Ofori Atta that the revocation is illegal. And you say you are going to court to win. Which case? How are you going to win a case in which the Attorney General, the advisor to the government, says the revocation of the Unibank license is illegal. Look, the report, let's read page 5. There are a number of pages we can read. Godfred Dami at the time raised so many things against the revocation of the license. Let's start with this. Page 5, the last but one paragraph.
Right.
I'm reading. He says, it is apparent from the foregoing that revocation of license of a bank or a specialized deposit-taking institution or the appointment of a receiver are not part of the actions that may be taken pursuant to a report prepared under section 114. So here he is. He says revoking a license is not part. Let me give the context because we cannot read all because of limited time. Earlier on in the pages before page 5 up to where I read, Godfred Dami referred to the fact that when you appoint a receiver, okay, the receiver in 90 days has to give you a report on the operations of the bank, etc. Now, based on the report, you are now supposed to, that's when you say you, I mean Bank of Ghana is supposed to take remedial measures on what to do to make sure the bank operates well. Hello, Mr. Okansi?
I can hear you clearly, but we can't see you though, but yes.
Yes, so then you go to, so that I'm sure this is better so that we don't lose me. Now, so you go to section 115, then you see that some of the remedial measures, section 115 of Act 930 says that increase of capital by existing shareholders. And that is exactly what Dufour did by writing to the governor that, look, I want to inject 1 billion. Then the governor said, we don't want to do it. We are bent on doing a political vendetta, all right? Vengeance. We want to cut oxygen to an NDC-linked bank. So they said, no, they are not taking it, right? Then you go to section 116. It says recapitalization. So that is to say, bring in more capital. So the Dufours wanted to do it. No, the BOG will not have any of it. Then go to 117, mergers, sales, and other restructuring like transfer of assets and liabilities. Then you go to, and that's not what happened. Then you go to 118. It says mandatory restricting of liabilities. Then you go to 119. Removal of key directors and key management personnel. So the point we are making is that Godfred Dami said, these are the only things that you can do. You cannot revoke a license. So after all this, then I read to you, and let's repeat for emphasis. That's why he said, it is apparent from the foregoing that revocation of a license of a bank or a specialized deposit-taking institution or the appointment of a receiver are not part of the actions that may be taken pursuant to Amano Dudu's report under section 114.
And this is contained in Godfred Dami, the Attorney General at the time's own opinion on this.
Exactly. Page 5. And then we go on. So he said it is wrong. Then he went on and came back and said, so once it was based on Amano Dudu's report that they were taking the actions, you cannot use revocation. Revocation of a bank license is not one of the options. Then he went on and said, look, if they wanted to do under section 16, that's revoke the license under section 16, the same way of Act 930, then they have to give the Unibank an opportunity, 30 days, to see what they can do to remedy the defects. That was not done. Then he went on, number 3, to say that, in the same manner, if you wanted to do revoke the license under section 112, then in that case, to the same thing, give opportunities. So then he goes to page 7 and says, it therefore cannot be asserted that the termination of official administration was effected in accordance with section 122 of the Act. So remember that Amano Dudu's tenure as receiver was also cut short because he had been appointed for 6 months, and yet we decided to cut it short in 4 months to do the political vendetta, to do the Beye, Abro and Beye. I've referred to the revocation of the Unibank license as a textbook example of Beye ne Abro. Beye as witchcraft in tree. Abro, all right? Just pull it down.
Wickedness.
Sorry?
Yes, Council, you make your point. So
Beye and Abro, because look, Ofori Atta was jealous. He was basically jealous of the Dufours. So he wanted that by the time they leave office, the Ofori Attas would be the biggest business. Yes, in Ghana. That was very pure. Beye and Abro, pure and simple. That's what Professor Jambo referred to. And let me give you further evidence of the Beye and Abro. Please, you can play back Godfrey Dame tape, the Japa case. Godfrey Dame said it, that it was Akuffo, president of Ghana, and Ofori Atta, finance minister, who were on his neck, compelling him to get a conviction of Akuffo and Japa by all means, so that there will be a by-election, etc. So please, I've given you evidence that Godfrey Dame said it is Akuffo and Ofori Atta who were using him for those unethical things. Please. So I'm not doing just suspicion. He himself has said it, that Ofori Atta as finance minister and Akuffo are the ones who were pushing him, destroy these businesses, cut oxygen to NDC, because Dufours are linked to NDC. If you destroy this bank, then it means that NDC will not get funded, etc. Now, so Council, let's go on with this.
yeah, so Council, just on the bit of that, just on the bit of that, Godfrey Dame advice that, or his opinion that you read, how consequential is it, taking into consideration the Attorney General's assessment of the case, so that this decision would be the most probable for the Attorney General? That Godfrey Dame, in his own opinion, said it is apparent that the revocation of a bank's license or appointment of a receiver are not actions permitted under a report prepared pursuant to Section 114. How consequential is this?
It destroys the case. It totally blows up our case in a court of law, because Godfrey Dame says, hey, this revocation is illegal. And in law, you hear lawyers will tell you that there's a popular legal principle. You can't put something on nothing. That's McFoy versus USA. And the Supreme Court of Ghana has stated this principle ad nauseum over 1,000 times. So Godfrey Dame's report, that's his AG's opinion, 25th of January 2019, was going to be used to give us a bloodied nose. We're going to suffer a bloodied nose in court. It was going to be like the Japa case that Godfrey Dame lost recklessly. And so Ayini wasn't going to be reckless, because Godfrey Dame says what you've done is illegal. So if what you've done is illegal, how can you prosecute these people? Because in law, you have to first clear the legality first. If what you've done is illegal, how can you prosecute Dufour, the governor, Isiama, all of those people, Holder Holdings, you know the list? How can you do it when your own actions are illegal? And Godfrey Dame didn't say it once, he didn't say it twice. He said it more than 3 times all throughout the report, where he kept reference. Then he says that, let's give you further evidence. He says that the setting up of CBG itself was illegal. Okay? Yes, he says the setting up of CBG itself was an illegal thing, and the transfer of the assets to CBG is also illegal. Let's read that part slowly so that we get it.
And this is, which specific part of the report are you quoting?
Page 9. So I'm starting from the first paragraph. He says, what they did is illegal. He says, there is no provision in Act 930 for a receiver appointed pursuant to Section 123 to be vested only with selected assets and liabilities, as stated in the letter appointing the receiver. The trust of that letter, together with statements contained in the official public announcements by the Bank of Ghana, all dated 1st August, confirm that the effect of the decisions taken on 1st August 2018 was to transfer the goods, assets, and liabilities to another institution other than the receiver. So you see it. He says there is no provision where you can do, you select somebody, you vest somebody with selected assets and liabilities. He says it is wrong. It is wrong. Then let's go look at the criminal, this thing. He says Akuffo, Ofori, Atta, and Governor Addison were engaged in criminal conduct. Let's read that criminal conduct. He says that, now, the receiver, 1 second. He says that, I've gone to page 10, where he says they've engaged in criminal conduct. Criminal conduct. He says, paragraph 8, VII. We know that CBG was incorporated on 1st August 2018, and a certificate to commence business was issued to that bank on 2nd August 2018. Mm-hmm. We also observe that selected assets and liabilities of the 5 banks were transferred to Unibank on 1st August 2018 via a purchase and assumption transaction before the grant of a certificate to commence business. Section 27 of the Companies Act 1963, Act 179, prohibits a company incorporated in Ghana from transacting a business until it has satisfied the provisions therein and has been issued with a certificate to commence business. A violation of this provision constitutes a criminal offense for which the company and every officer of the company shall suffer a penalty prescribed by Section 29 of the Act. Then he goes on. The transfer of selected assets and liabilities of Unibank on 1st August 2018 is a business which CBG was not authorized by law to engage in as at 1st August 2018. Mr. Okansi, are you with me?
Yes.
So you see, he says they've committed a criminal offense. Yet Godfrey Dami didn't have the courage to what? Prosecute Ofori, Atta, Governor Addison, and all those people. Rather, he was fostering.
And who was this? Who was this opinion? Who was this?
Fostering and fostering criminal conduct.
Who was this opinion put together for, and for what purpose exactly? With what you have just read, in fact, I have a copy of it. What was supposed to be the consequence of the former Attorney General Godfrey Adami's opinion, as you have elucidated quite clearly on this entire process, which he describes and raises concerns about the legality of the process and so on? Who was supposed to take action on this?
He addressed it to Ken Ofori, Atta, Honorable Minister, because at that time they sought to join the Attorney General to this lawsuit. So the Attorney General was saying, hey, that's the case in which Ni Amano Dodu sued Dr. Kwabena Dufour and 16 others.
Yes.
And so Ni Amano Dodu now sought to add what do you call it? The Attorney General. Okay? So then Attorney General is saying that, hey, this case, Charlie, Ofori, Atta, if they add us to this case, we are in trouble because you've committed a crime. You Addison and Akuffo, you've committed a crime. You've given a license to CBG contrary to the law, etc. And in any event, even this revocation itself is illegal. That's what Godfrey Dami is telling Ofori, Atta, the finance minister. So he gave him a lengthy opinion showing him that, hey, this is a crime scene. This is a crime scene. CBG and revocation of the Unibank license is a crime scene. Please, let us try and avoid this situation because